Mr. Leo Ford, first of all, I want to say thank you so much for agreeing to do this interview. We really do appreciate your participation.
Speak up a little bit.
Oh, sorry. I want to say thank you for agreeing to do this interview.
Great,
We
yeah.
appreciate your participation.
Yeah.
Just to reiterate that this project is a Caribbean Couturier in Lewisham, and we're predominantly looking at the women that produced garments within the industry and sometimes within their homes and their communities. But we also felt that we should never leave the men out and what they did, because quite often in fashion we forget about them, and what the men did was very significant. So we already know that you're not a tailor, but you use the tailoring service.
Correct, yeah.
And so we want to talk to you from the perspective of a client, and for you to share your experiences. So we will be asking you about your background and your arrival in England to get a general feel of who you are, and then we want to find out a little bit about your experience of having clothes made in England, and what that was like for you, and what your opinions might be. Yeah. So to begin with, just for the record, could you tell us your name, where you come from, and your age, if you don't mind, please?
Yeah, the name is Leo Ford. I'm from Bridgetown, Barbados.
And your age.
Mm.
Your age.
And
And your age.
my age. Oh, I was born 12th of September, 1932. That would make me my next birthday be 90.
Awesome. Oh, we need to celebrate. Right. So, Leo, could you tell us a little bit about Bridgetown, Barbados, where you were born and where you grew up? A little bit about what education you might have had there prior to coming to England,
Yeah.
and what you did.
Yeah,
Anything
right.
about the work you did, yeah?
Well, Bridgetown is a sort of commercial town. Schooling, I was at school at the Mervyn Church School. Used to call it the Roebuck Boys, but now it's Roebuck Secondary. So I finished at 15, and then the usual thing boys run about, playing cricket and football, swimming, that sort of thing, huh? Until when I got 18, then I really had a job. Yeah.
So what job did you do at 18?
18. Oh, now, one of the first jobs I had was working with the stevedore aboard the ships. And then after that, I went and worked for Jack Teller. Jack Teller Teller Associates.
Okay.
But the front man that used to be up front was Jack Teller and his wife. And they had a son, Nicky Teller, who who married Susan Mon, the actress.
Okay.
Yeah. I worked for him for a while, and good job. But then I left that job and went to work for more money, less hours, for a very wealthy man called Bob Megor. He was French Canadian who lived in Barbados and had a lot of investments and whatever in Barbados. Yeah.
Okay. Very nice. And so, Leo, could you tell us how old you were when you came to England, and how you travelled?
I was 26 years old. I was on holidays from work, so I had to go back and hand in my notice, and they weren't pleased about it. But Mr. Bob Megor, Mr. Megor, I call him, he was very nice person, and he said to me, "I'm gonna miss you, but if I were you, I'd start going to college over there and come back and work for us. I promised I would do that after 5 years, but I didn't.
Somebody come for 5 years. They never go.
I did go to college really in Kingston,
Right. Yes.
a private college, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that didn't last long. I had to leave and come to. I was living at Kingston Thames at the time,
Right.
and so I had to leave and come to New Cross
Mm-hmm.
to work at New Cross.
Right.
So that put paid to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was happy in Kingston.
Mm-hmm.
Nice place. Kingston on Thames, very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, Kingston on Thames is a nice part of the country. So, Leo, what motivated you to come to England?
I always wanted to come to England.
Mm-hmm.
There was something between me and English people, more so than Americans.
Right.
I'd rather be amongst English people
Mm-hmm.
because, as I said, I worked for Jack Teller, and the Tellers were English,
Right.
and them and their friends, I sort of they treated me very, very, very nice,
Mm-hmm.
and I get to know them, they get to know me, and they used to invite me to their house and whatever. So I thought everybody in England would be like that, but I forgot that
Right.
the wealthy people and the middle class, and then the very poor people who have to go to work and
Yeah.
whatever. Right. So I still enjoy myself in England. I still love England.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you did arrive in England, you already said that you had planned to go to college and go back
Yeah.
and that didn't happen.
Mm.
In terms of the work that you did here, what was your expectation? Did you come expecting to work as well?
I had a job. When it came, I had a job in London Transport.
Yes.
I already had a job,
Right.
and I arrived. I came by boat for start.
Mm-hmm.
A boat called the Sorienta,
Mm-hmm.
and we arrived here at Sussex Coast,
Mm-hmm.
and then the transport sent buses to pick us up.
Yes.
Yeah, that took us to the house.
Right.
Yeah, and after that, that was a Sunday,
Right.
and the Monday, you had to go to school to learn the transport way of life.
Okay. Yes.
And that school is called Chiswick School
Mm-hmm.
at Chiswick. And that was very good for 2 weeks with them studying and whatever. Yeah, very, very good. And taught us a lot. I mean,
Yes.
a lot of sense and things. He was sensible. Very, very, very good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you worked on the London Transport after that.
Yeah, I worked on the buses as a conductor.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, in those days, there was a lot of conductors and drivers.
Yes, that's right.
A crew up, they call it a crew.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And did you enjoy that job?
Very well, very well, yeah.
What was most enjoyable about it?
The people.
Mm.
The people that you meet,
Yeah.
especially when I came to London,
Mm-hmm.
from Surrey to London,
Yes.
especially the people in Lewisham.
Right.
I found the people in Lewisham were very, very decent, lovely people.
Right.
That is one of the reasons why I decided to stay in Lewisham.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
And I stayed I'm in Lewisham now from 1960
Mm-hmm.
until now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nice. Lewisham Borough Council would like to hear that. Okay, that's really nice. So, we talked about your motivation for coming here.
Yeah.
When you did arrive, tell me a little bit more about your first impressions of what you saw.
Yeah, well, they came to the customs and they greet you with a cup of tea and things like that, and I find if you could have coffee if you want, Everybody was polite
Yeah.
to you. And I thought, well, I expected that in any case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice. And where was the first place you lived? Do you remember the first place that you lived?
Yeah, I lived, the first place I lived was in Hampton.
Mm-hmm.
That is, Hampton is right beside, like Middlesex is beside Surrey.
Mm-hmm.
So Hampton is in Middlesex.
Yeah.
And then you come down to Hampton Court.
Mm-hmm.
And you turn left and then go up a bit and get into Surrey, sort of thing.
Right, yeah.
Or you could go from Hampton Wick,
Mm-hmm.
cut through the back and go into
Yeah.
from Middlesex
Mm-hmm.
to Surrey,
Yeah.
that way.
Okay. And then eventually you moved to Lewisham, like you said.
No, I moved to Kingston on Thames
Oh, yeah.
because I met a driver. He was a new driver, and he didn't know the way and things like that. He just came with the army, a young fella, and I show him the way, sort of thing, and help him, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And he got to like me.
Mm-hmm.
So he invited me to his house. He lived with his mother-in-law and his wife and a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And he introduced me to his mother-in-law. The idea is that he wanted me to come and live with his mother-in-law. I didn't know that. So he said to me, how they treating you where you live? Does she give you a cup of tea regular and sandwiches? I said, no. He never offered me a cup of tea. And he said to his mother-in-law, would you like Leo to come and live here with us? She said yes. And I lived there for over a year with her. And they treated me very well.
That's nice.
She said to me, Leo, you have to pay the same money that my sons pay and my daughter paid. You have to pay that same money. And that was 30 bob a week.
Not bad.
And you get as much food as you want,
Yeah.
especially breakfast time.
Right.
The biggest breakfast I've ever seen.
Right.
Oh, from like sort of 7:30 till about, I don't know, or 10 o'clock, they're still eating breakfast.
And so from there, where did you move to from there?
I moved up to, in 1959 I came up to Lewisham to visit some friends.
Right.
And I came into Lewisham, I found the place very nice, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Like I said,
Yeah.
lovely people and blah, blah. And after a while I keep thinking I want to live in Lewisham.
Yeah.
So I applied to a transfer,
Yes, yes.
and I came up to Lewisham. And I lived in Shell Road, number 30 Shell Road.
Nice. Very nice. Okay. So, Leo, we want to shift and start talking a little bit about clothing.
Yeah.
All right. So, we know that you don't make, but we know that you used a lot
Yeah.
of tailor services. Yeah. So, can you tell us a little bit about your experience of having clothes made by a tailor?
Yes. I had some very good tailors.
Mm-hmm.
My first tailor in England
Yeah.
was a man called Mr. Roth.
Mm-hmm.
And he lives, his shop was just before the Goldsmiths College,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
opposite the Marquis of Granby.
Right. Yeah.
It's facing the Marquis of Granby on the Lewisham Way.
Yes.
That time the buses used to go down the Lewisham Way, up and down.
Yes.
But they don't go do it. They go around now, come around. So,
Yes.
right. He was a very good tailor,
Mm-hmm.
very decent man. But the business, I think he saw the business was going to go down. Tailoring, you could buy a trousers up Carnaby Street for like say £10,
Mm-hmm.
and he make a trousers for £25,
Right.
which was a lot of money in those days,
Yeah.
right? So he decided to he ran a betting shop on the Lewisham Way, and that's why he left. He sold
shut
the
down
business
the
and
tailor.
went did betting shop. Yeah.
Okay. So
And
you
then
had to find
after that,
another tailor.
Then after the other tailors I had was Hepworth
Mm-hmm.
on the Lewisham Way, on the Lewisham High Street.
Mm-hmm.
They were very good. John Collier's made one suit for me. With there's other one or two other tailors that I bought things from or got a suit made. But the last good tailor I had was Ken Thurlow at Shop 60 and Catford, here in Catford, yeah. And he was great. I tell you, he was a real good tailor. And I had him for a long, long, long time.
Yeah. And Leo, why did you choose to have your clothes tailor-made as opposed to buying them?
At the time, I had a better physique than what I have now. I didn't have the punch and all that, and clothes used to hang on me good. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I rather at that time a tailor-made suit, and I'm a clothes person in any case.
Yes.
And I always like a nice suit and nice trousers or what, and nice jacket made or waistcoat or something like that.
Yeah.
And so that's how yeah.
Yeah. And do you remember what it would have cost to have a suit made? I know you said just a moment ago about trousers.
The last suit I had made cost me, it was a pinstripe suit. And Ken Fairley said to me, you better get in here because this suit, this material, the company that make materials, you know, in Scotland or wherever they come from, this particular material, he said, this stripe, this stripe, you know, they're pinstripes and pinstripes.
Yes.
They look alike, but they're not the same. You know, this is a pinstripe, but they're not different pinstripe. Yeah. And he said to me, but it cost you £800. Straight up, he said, it's gonna cost you £800. It's quite a bit of money at the time, you know.
Yes.
So I said to him, he showed me the material, and he said, look, this is gonna be a nice piece of material. And he made it for me, and I have it all right now. Still have it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's really nice. Okay. So, I lost my train of thought for a minute. I was just thinking about this pinstripe suit.
Yeah.
I've got a thing about pinstripe suits.
Yeah.
If the material is really nice,
Yeah.
it looks really good. Could you tell me a little bit more about the actual process from the time you arrive to order the suit, what that process is like? What do you do? What do they do in terms of measuring? And
Yes, they measure you, the tailor measure you from head to toe, as I say. And, you know, they were very, very good tailors, you know. You know, England have one of the best tailors in the world, I think. But the styles, you know, they didn't go for all this lot of styles.
Yeah.
They just made a suit
Yes.
for you. Is it a dinner suit or what you call a lunch suit? I mean,
Yeah.
but Italy, they started with styles.
Okay.
So they had the Italian style.
Yeah.
So I had to get an Italian style made.
So what would you do? Would you go to your tailor here and
You go to the
ask
tailor
them to make an
and you tell him what you want,
Yeah.
and he decide, okay, we'll do that for you.
Right. Okay.
And they measure you, and then you have to go back for fittings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you remember how many fittings you had to do?
Twice.
Right. Okay.
2 fittings.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it'll be good to
Yeah,
go.
jacket sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have suits made when you were in Barbados?
Yes.
So, can you tell me a little bit about that experience and then how you compare the two? You know.
Well, at that time in Barbados, they had some very good tailors.
Right.
But the main tailor in Barbados was a company. And that company had a lot of different tailors and different sections of the tailor shop.
Yes.
Big shop, and they employed these tailors.
Yes.
And they also trained young people to become tailors.
Yeah.
And Well, my tailor, he came from that store,
Yeah.
that tailor shop,
Yes.
and he made 2 suits for me
Right.
before I left Barbados,
Mhm.
and I brought them here with me.
Yes.
No, I ain't got them. I ain't got them anymore, but they're very, very good. Good,
Yeah. Okay.
you know. You know it, Barbados. You know that at that time, in my time, the best at that time the best place to get materials
Mhm.
to make suits was the Coston Company.
Okay.
Whatever the best material
Right.
they used to sell,
Yeah.
but very expensive.
Okay.
So you work and you save up your money and buy your suit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Buy what you want. Yeah.
So when you brought your suit to England, and then you have a tailor suit
Yeah.
made in England,
Yeah.
how does that compare?
Jenny,
We're just pause for a minute.
they are here, so later, I really. Yeah?
Jenny,
Okay.
she just tried to call you. You good? All right. Right. So I'm going to just ask that question again. So when you had bought your suits from
Yeah.
Barbados here, and then how did you compare the service
Yeah.
that you got first of
Yeah.
all, and then how did you compare the suits?
Similar.
Similar.
Yeah.
So it's about
The
a
tailors
similar-
were very, very good,
right.
and
Similar standards
yeah,
as well.
same thing.
Right.
2 fittings for a suit.
Yeah.
You get for jacket. You know.
Right. Okay.
No, but trousers, but it's a jacket.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but pin it on
it's
it,
all
yeah,
about
yeah,
the
yeah.
jacket, yeah.
And
Mm.
so, but very, very good tailors. Yeah.
Yeah.
Barbados.
That's good. Okay. Just moving on. So, Leo, do you have any kind of real standout memories that that you hold dear, with regards to having something made, something that was made, or just generally with your experience that transition from Barbados to England?
Well, a lot of memories was, but nothing significant. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we've talked a little bit about Lewisham because the tailors that you used were
Yeah.
in the borough. But what I want to ask you is, how do you think Lewisham has changed? Because lots of the tailors that you would have mentioned, they're not there anymore, are they?
No,
So
they're
how,
gone.
how
Sadly,
how has
that's
changed?
that's gone. Yeah.
Yeah. Are there any left?
No,
So they've all gone.
none, all gone.
Right.
It's just,
That's
that's a
sad.
sad thing, you know.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because now the new generation are not left.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a shame. Yeah. Okay, so we're just going to move on a little bit more now, Leo. Just talk a little bit about family, friends, and work, and how that's impacted your life in England.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see where you're coming from. Yeah. Well, at work, at the transport,
Mhm.
it's like a family.
Yes.
You don't have to go home because we have a restaurant. They have the games room, and you can go and play games, cards, shop penny,
Mhm.
table tennis. They have three snooker tables,
Yeah.
and in the sports room, yeah.
Yeah.
So then in the summertime, we play cricket, and the transport had a section where they have runners
Yes.
and swimmers,
Mhm.
and people learn to row boats and all.
Right.
The transport was very, very, because remember, it wasn't transport like now.
Right.
It was the London Transport Executive.
Right.
It was a different, that was the main company in those days.
Right.
Right.
So it's very different from London.
It's different now,
Transport
yeah,
that we
yeah.
see now.
You see, since Margaret Thatcher came into power, you know, she got this franchisee situation where different companies,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Oh
got
yes,
different
because
companies.
they're different companies that own different aspect.
they run
Yeah.
the government give them the run for X amount of time,
Yeah.
and X amount of money they give them to get on with it. I
Right.
mean,
Yeah.
because the government they want to. You see, there's a difference between a conservative government and a Labour government. The Labour government is socialist section situation, and the other one is an associated thing, two different things altogether. So Mrs. Thatcher, she's in the associated situation, and she brought in this franchisee so that people could run different, give them some money, you get on with it. They don't want to know, the government don't want to know, but they give different companies some money to get on with running different sections of the buses and the trains and underground whatever. You know? Yeah.
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 So it changed a lot.
Yeah.
It sounded to me like they really built a family.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah. So how was that? How did you feel about that? Leaving your home and what was familiar to you in Barbados and coming into that environment?
I was very, very, very happy.
Yeah.
I was never unhappy in England,
Yeah.
especially Lewisham.
Especially.
Yeah. I got so many friends.
Yes.
Some departed, sadly some departed.
Yes.
But I still have a lot of friends who come and take me out, as you know.
Yes. That's
Come to my house, come take me out, bring me.
Yeah.
Look, let's go. Come and go with me to go somewhere, whatever, to have a
Yeah.
drink or whatever. I mean,
yeah.
Sam, my friend Sam, he liked karaoke. He would take me with him sometimes. So, yeah.
So, I'm going to ask you another little question about the whole clothing and tailoring. And, you know, we've already said, you know, you've told us how they've all gone now. And, you know, they're not in Lewisham anymore. Do you think that any sort of investment or anything socially or politically would have had an impact on that? And on them being able to why do you think they all
Clothing for women and men. Somebody got to put up the money to help, especially. All right, let's talk about the women's section. They had a fellow in Italy. He was very wealthy, and he used to put up the money to make all these gowns and whatever, beautiful gowns and things. But since he died now, that's fallen apart. I can't remember his name. Anyhow, his name it slips me. But the men's section, there's no one putting up any money to make clothes on the wide market for men. There's only like places like Moss Bros, they call them Moss Brothers, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, them still do a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
But apart from that, there's no tailors.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, that's a shame, isn't it? Okay, so just a couple more questions, Leo. When you think back to Barbados, do you know of any tailors that still exist in Barbados?
No, I don't know any.
Oh, okay.
No.
So we don't know whether they've.
That would be like 100 or something.
Oh yeah.
I'm
You
90.
left there a long while ago. That's absolutely fine. Okay. So, Leo, looking back, and I think I know the answer to this, but looking back, first of all, when you think of home, what comes to your mind?
Yeah. Lewisham.
That's nice. Yeah, I know Lewisham.
Yeah.
You like Lewisham. And when you look back, I think I know the answer, but I'm going to ask you anyway. When you look back to Barbados and that journey from Barbados to England and the life you've had here, do you think you made the right choice?
I don't know the answer to that, really. I don't know. I really don't know the answer to that.
Okay.
I look back at my cousins. They have children, and I don't know them. I don't know. Well, most of them I don't know. a lot of my cousins still living. No, I don't know. All of my brothers and sisters came abroad, America and UK. But I keep in touch with them. This is that, you know. And if I go to Barbados or New York, I go and live with them.
Yeah.
So, and the family have a house down there,
Yes.
the whole family. So
Yeah.
we could whoever go down there that have
Stay
this
there.
key or whatever to get in and go and rest up for a couple of weeks if you want to.
Yeah.
But I still think of Lewisham as my home.
Yeah.
You know, that Barbados was my home once.
Yeah.
I was born there, but I sort of settled down in England. I thought to myself, I'm going to settle here. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you think that migration to England has been beneficial for, say, the younger generations, the generations
Yeah.
after you, either
Yeah.
in your family or
That's a
in
good
the
question.
circle?
Yeah. You see, in Barbados and the Caribbean in the whole, they haven't got a lot of industries. The majority of industries, what I would say, would be in that Jamaica had the bauxite industry, and I think that's mainly in Canada now, and Trinidad got the oil industry, and I think they do bauxite too. Guyana, they have a few industries too. They still do sugar cane, and whatever. Trinidad do sugar cane. Jamaica do sugar cane. Barbados hardly do sugar cane. Yeah. But they haven't got the industries. That's what they want down there. Industries to keep the young people that come out of the schools. You know, as you know, we have some very good schools in Barbados.
Yes.
And we have the university and all that. But for them to earn a living, they have to go abroad. Yeah, and that is the thing that's killing the Caribbean. Most of the Caribbean people, when they finish university, colleges and whatever, they want to work. And they want to work now, they have to go abroad because there's no industries.
Right. So you think that in England they have much better opportunities?
Yes, well, they have a lot of opportunities in this country.
Yeah.
And the Canadians employ quite a few of them.
Yes. They do.
But if you go to America and you get qualified over there, go to the college for a little while, you could earn some big money over there. But you have to be young.
Yeah.
You can't say, well, when you get 60 then you got over there and earn big money, because you'll have to go to college. Depends on what type of education you have.
Yes.
If you say that you have a master's and something like that, and you specialize in mathematics or whatever, oh yeah, that's different. I mean,
Right.
but because quite a few people have masters and PhD and things like that, and get jobs all over the world. Yeah. So I'm going as far as Germany, China.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a cousin who was working in China recently, but he's back here now, and he's working on the Canary Wharf, they call it. Yeah.
Leo, thank you for that. It's been really insightful. Is there any last thing that you would want to share with us?
Last thing.
Is there any last thing that you'd want to share
Oh,
about anything that we've talked about?
about you remember the world?
Yes.
Oh, there. Well, I don't know what to say about the world at the moment. There's varying aspects of life in the world, as you know, yeah. But as far as I'm concerned, well, the world is going pretty good. You know, pretty good, and I'm very happy to be alive to see all the new inventions that come in.
Yes.
You know, I'm very happy to see all these things. And I'm happy to learn about some of them too.
Yes.
You know, so I think that the world has been very good. Yeah.
Thank you. Leo, thank you very much. I've really appreciated this, and we will definitely share with you any of the outputs that come from this process.
Sure.
Thank you.